Yay. Welcome. In this video, I'm just going to review everything I have in my roasting room. Let's see. Softbox, 5D Mark IV, old MacBook, new standing desk. It's amazing. I'll update the new link. Much better for cupping. Okay, I can actually take you with me with this new camera. Fellow grinder. Been using this for over a year now. Hasn't failed at all. I think the grind consistency could be better. That could be due to me not cleaning it. I'm a little afraid to clean it. You're supposed to just take this plate off, which I'll probably do for like an end of the year, clean out my grinder kind of thing. And then you're supposed to clean it. Hopefully I do it correctly, and then share that with you guys. So the burrs are inside beyond this. I'll leave this open as a reminder for myself. The grind size, still sounds pretty good, right? Let's see if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see it. That's awesome. This is just the basic number 4 for me. A little coarser than what I would maybe drink with. I'll play around with this a little bit more. Messy though, right? I think you really have to be aware of that. I take out the cover here, and I stopped doing the whole like water drip thing, and I just don't care anymore because it's just what it is, right? I've accepted it, and it doesn't matter because it's not like in my kitchen. It's here in the coffee area in a semi-professional sense. So yeah, I don't care. I leave it messy. Every now and again when it gets unbearable, I'll give it a little sweep, a little vacuum. The Fellow first edition, I know there's like a new one now, but this has been great. No calcium buildup at all, as long as you use, like, you know, the formula for SCA water. Just like do that to your water at the best way you can. I fill these are specifically for drinking coffee, cupping coffee, espresso machine. As long as you keep that up, it really has proven true. What they say is like all your stuff will last really long. Look how mirror clean it is. The mirror finish is still intact. This guy, I feel like it's a little off. Look how messy this is. It's done really well. This is like one of those under $100. I'll drop the link in the description. It charges via USB-C, which is great, and I think that's nice. Easy to clean too, when I want to. I am in the market for a new and better pour-over system. Hold on, let me bring you over here. What's wrong with these pour-overs? Well, it makes this sound, which annoys the hell out of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good. Okay. This pour over I don't particularly like anymore, even though it's a classic. It's because it has this ceramic, and it's not good for how I like to even out the bed of the coffee. So I would rather this be like a wood. I'm in the market for a wood one. And this is a little better. But as you can see, the extraction of this is not that great either, and I don't like the look of it as well, so I'll probably have to donate these or something. These Atmos things, I don't like them. Yeah, I really don't like them. Why? Because they're a pain to do this, to like do what they're intended to do, is to do this vacuum thing so like no air gets in. This takes a lot of time if you make a lot of coffee. And I don't know, I think I'm an impatient person. So that takes a lot of time that I don't want to give. And then very easily they stop working. And you could look it up and on all this stuff that I don't want to do extra. But it's like there's something having to do with this thing that it just gets dirty or whatever it may be, and I'm just like, forget it. So what I'll do is I'll end up putting leftover coffee for me to drink after I roast for like customers. I'll put it in here, and I'll just leave it up here, and then just kind of make a mental note to myself, like, I guess I need to drink that faster because it's not really sealed very well. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these Atmos canisters, but they are very, very pretty. So I keep them around, but I don't actually use them for their intended use. And I've looked up how to like clean it and all that stuff, and I'm just like, I've tried it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I'm over it. Basically what I'll do is I'll just keep them in my own one-way valved bags and just keep using them over and over again. I mean, they got the zipper closure. How different is that going to be from here to here? It's not going to be that different for me. And, you know, I'm just drinking my own coffee. I mean, the same thing with like, this is Onyx. Nothing fancy about this, right? You take off the thing, it's got a valve. It doesn't even have a zipper closure. They're probably thinking that you're gonna put it in something like this, right? But it's such a small little sample size, and I drink it so quickly that I don't feel like I need to. You know what I mean? They're fresh coffee. Another thing I've tried is the packed coffee holder as well. This is just straight up an aluminum can, which I think works well enough for the size if you drink your coffee fast enough. I think that's fine, and the look is really nice, you know, and it's easy. Easy, right? I like stuff easy. These filters from Hario, I've been using them. They're affordable. I use a lot of them. I really just do pour over now. I barely do any AeroPress, and that's because AeroPress is more work. It evidently became more work to have the best brew from it, whereas I don't feel I have to do that much work to have the best brew from a pour over, oddly enough. I don't know. I think that's just personal preference and like how you've systemized your approach to making coffee. They're fine, whatever. But yeah, I barely use AeroPress. Okay, next. Big shout out to Semia Coffee Roasters. I feel like out of all the coffee that I cupped from other roasters who sent me coffee to cup, I felt like they were doing what I want to do too. And so I feel like our goals in coffee were kind of aligned, and that's why I like it maybe the best. But, you know, all the coffees that I drank this year were amazing. I don't have any stinkers, obviously. Every coffee that came from you, I feel the love that you put into that roast too. So I also think that adds to taste. That's why taste is subjective. Okay, this thing. The Fellow pour over system, sort of like a Kalita Wave. Yeah, not a fan because the filters are a little bit more inaccessible to me. And it was kind of cumbersome. I remember that. I didn't particularly like the filter of the like waved kind of filter. I don't know, just seemed a little weird. I'll have to give it another shot. I honestly didn't give it the best try, and it goes together with this. So, I don't know. Basically, I don't like extra things. This like extra funnel. It's kind of a weird thing. I use this to measure out my coffee on the scale, you know, and then I'll just actually store it just like that. So, yeah. I didn't do too much traveling this time, but when I did, this was my traveling coffee kit. I haven't opened this in a while actually, so, but my review of it is still awesome. Like, I have everything in here. Boop. See? And these all worked really well for me. This is the packed kettle. And then I had the Fellow Carter mug. I had the packed pour over thing. This is okay. It's not the best. It has some leakage going on when you're brewing, so that means you're not brewing, you're not extracting correctly. You're having a lot of bypass with this kind of filter because of the break in the funnel. So I'll think about replacing this for sure, because I know, like, I just want to have the best cup of coffee on the road. If I'm going to go through all of this trouble, like, it should be awesome, right? This Normcore, legit. I love it. Still love it. Some old coffee in here. I'm going to have to replace that for sure. We'll just keep it in there for looks. This case is the best. You can put little stickers on it and kind of make it your own. I say yeah. But that's awesome. It's a little bulky, a little heavy, but it's yours, so make it your own. Yeah. Heat sealer. The link is still in the description, still in that blog post of links to everything that I use. It's been excellent throughout this whole year. After you leave it on for a while, it's very, very hot. And then you can just like fly through bags. And how long does it take to get hot? So probably a good 5 to 10 minutes. At least 5. Give it 5 minutes to be actually usable, I think. You may have to linger there longer in the press of it. I turn it off completely when it's not in use, just to be safe. I keep it here like this, pretty simple here. These bags, yeah, they're all right. They're pretty good. I'm definitely going to switch it up. This was a solution that had to be done because I had already paid for these old hot stamped bags, right? So I had to find a way to just kind of work with what I have. But moving forward, my designer actually said, hey, I would love for you to actually do a white bag. That way we do the logo in the color that it's supposed to be. All the white logos are inverse logos of what the original is, which is a black logo. A black on white, not a white on black. Which I was kind of averse to at first because I was all about black, black, black. But when we're finally done with these bags, which it'll be a while, it'll be a white bag because I want to honor what my designer thought of, which I really respect what his thoughts were. And let's see, review of these little Roaster's Choice labels. They didn't really work for me. I have a bunch of them, as always. I always think of something clever to do that is sort of templated and then it doesn't end up working. If I could give a tip to you about templated things, it's like, just be really sure if you can. Or else you do kind of waste your money a bit. These stickers, I think it's from makestickers.com. Excellent. Excellent. Not a bad word to say about them. Oh, the Ikawa. So, you can't see it, but I keep the Ikawa on top of you. Oof, in this tray. Alright, and the reason why I keep it in a tray is because I walk all over to where the stove is at. I'll place this on the stove top because I have a lot of good ventilation from our vent. So I'll keep it there. Then I'll plug it in and I'll run it there under the vent on top of the stove. And so I'll keep it here. This is where I do all my sample roasting. My review of it, very quickly. It's very efficient. Whenever I'm doing samples and I need to do samples, it does the job in that it under roasts particularly well. Not always consistently. I feel like sometimes if it's a very low elevation coffee, it could tend to over roast that if you select something incorrectly. It's a very templated sort of roast, but that's okay. Like what I do is try to under roast all of my wash samples one way and then natural samples another way. And then those are the two main categories that you could basically choose. So like say you have an anaerobic, that would go under natural. If you had an anaerobic processed washed coffee that was high elevation, that would go under washed, I think. So like you kind of have to have a little bit of insight as to how much heat that the green can take in particular, like how dense is it, you know, how old is it, things like that. And then you can kind of select either natural for a more gentle application, or you can select washed for a more heat application. And then you can get a little bit more specific as to like how light do you want it, how how long do you, how much development do you want to, you can kind of pick those two different things. So overall, I really like it. Like I said, super efficient. Whenever I roast coffees, I'll just go play a video game while it's roasting and monitor it that way, because it will just do it on its own. And then I could weigh out all my samples and see how much moisture loss I got from my roast. And then when I take it into production, I'll have that information there, so I'm not going into a brand new coffee at the production roaster super blind. You know, I have some information about how it reacts with heat, and that's, I think, the most important thing. And for me, it does the job. Like, obviously, this is a very unprofessional situation I got going on over here, so it works for me, you know? Like, I don't have any regrets about it, and I really like it. It's nice. And they're small batches too. So there's not a lot of people like in staff that are going to come and cup this coffee. It's just me, you know, so it works. The maximum capacity is 100 grams, which that's what I run it at. If I were to run it at 50 grams, there's a big chance that I'll tip the coffee, I'll over roast the coffee, and I won't be roasting the samples in a way that will help me with what I'm trying to do. But I could definitely do that if I wanted to. Okay. Okay, so that was basically everything of importance to review in this coffee lab. I hope that helped. A lot of you guys who are coming to the channel are maybe new to roasting or want to start your own thing, which is so cool. You've been sending such inspiring and really nice messages, so I really thank you for that and for watching. And the channel has been just ever growing, like minusculely growing over this last couple of years, so that's pretty cool. And that we're on the same journey together, learning, documenting, and just being in the beautiful world of coffee. So any questions, comments, put them in the comments. We'll see you. Happy New Year. Bye.